live now. So what's up, MPX addicts, and welcome to MPX Rehab. I am Jay Williams, your hashtag certified mark, here with my co-host, as always.
The voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
And things may look a little different to you because we're actually having to switch things around in the studio because later on tonight we will have a special guest, and I've already put it in the title. Sebastion Envi will be joining us.
But he's tiny. We didn't have to move that much. He's tiny.
He's short, yes, but he's also, you know, a very thick guy.
Yeah, still think he could have fit.
Yeah, but either way, we're excited to have him on the show because, as we said when we first talked about Liberty Day, we don't exactly feel comfortable talking all that much about Juneteenth.
Yeah,
because we kind of can't speak to that experience ourselves.
we're white.
Yeah, that's the problem. Wrong complexion.
She works.
Yeah, yeah, but she's a cat.
Are you saying cat lives don't matter, sir?
Cat lives definitely matter, all 9 of them. But he's going to be later on tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started with MPX's Everybody Hurts. And this...
Sometimes.
I can't help it. I keep wanting them to open the show with just that line.
I really thought they would. I really thought we would have heard that song. I really did Saturday.
That's like when I first tried to do this as a podcast before MPX Radio. I tried to do that line from Boondock Saints because it was MPX's Armageddon, and I wanted to use the line, Smecker's line from from Boondock Saints. It was like, "This place was Armageddon."
It was a firefight.
And
Anyway,
that's when I learned that apparently there is a way to rip audio off of YouTube videos.
Yep.
I did not know that before then.
God.
Oh no, I
Roddy,
know now.
Roddy or Aries, that was their entrance for ROH.
Oh really?
It was for a moment this place was Armageddon.
Oh.
It was a firefight, and it was. I want to say it was Roddy because I think Aries came out to Personal Jesus,
Oh, that's cool.
which Greg did better than Aries. But anyways,
And
Aries is a little crazy now.
a little.
Yeah.
But
Concussions are an issue.
it was actually a very interesting night to start because Cody wasn't there.
Yeah, it was kind of a shock. We didn't have Cody. We didn't have the special treat.
Yep.
We got the bow tie sensation. We haven't had Tyler yet. He's the
No,
only
it
one
is.
we
We've
haven't.
actually mentioned before that it's like, wait a minute, you've had Richard,
Yep.
you've had Cody.
Yep.
When the hell is my time? And I do want to set that up. So,
Yeah.
You know, if Tyler happens to watch this, which it's Thursday, he's not watching. He's at the bar.
Well, I'm sure there's some playoff game. I know there's a hockey game. I don't think he likes hockey though.
There's always some game, some fight, something.
Baseball, Texas Rangers, maybe I don't
something
know.
like that. But he pretty much announced, he commentated, he proved that he can do this job.
He did everything but work in the ring as a ref or a wrestler.
And so, you know,
And we've seen him do that before.
yeah, sort of.
Well,
I know he was an enforcer or something like
Exactly.
that at one point.
yeah, and he took a nice little super kick.
Uh-huh.
Of course he did.
Tommy. Oh man, I can't wait for this.
He just wants to hear about all the moonsaults.
Oh yeah, all the moonsaults.
Fuck you. Go back to doing whatever you were doing.
I'm so glad you're not here tonight.
Yeah.
I'd have thrown you out of my damn house. I love my dogs. I love my cat too. Yeah. But yeah. You tell him, Gilly. But Tim Storm started out the show, and I gotta say, it was obvious the first time he was there he was expecting to come out the face. But
Yeah.
MPX rallied behind Dexter, and Tim, being the veteran he is, leaned into it. He knew which way the wind was blowing, and it was not blowing in his favor.
Nope.
So he was like, "Fine, I'll be the heel."
He was going to make MPX great again.
Oh yes. Oh jeez.
It was so
Especially
great.
that talking about it's like, I like order. I was like, oh man.
Which is great.
I
And
kind of almost wish he'd won, but
I kind of did too, just for the fact I wanted to. One, it's like he even said in the thing, this is his backyard. He
Yeah.
lives 5 minutes down the road. He teaches middle school history, yet he's never been to MPX. We've had him twice. And it's just crazy for a vet of his status, a Texas legend,
yeah.
to only be at the best promotion in the DFW area. And only be there twice. That's crazy. So hopefully we do get him back a little more. But yeah, having him come out and immediately kind
If you're
of.
concerned that we're saying it's the best show at DFW, I refer to you to the title of our show,
Everybody
MPX
hurts.
Rehab.
Oh,
So that too.
because we hurt feelings apparently.
Apparently. But yeah, so I was actually really, really happy with him, just keeping with that. It's like, okay, I'm going to come in as a heel. Even though the crowd was still.
I was going to say the crowd still didn't really know what to do with him because you've got Melanie who's super loud.
Yep.
And yeah, you've got people like us who respect him because of everything he's done.
Yeah.
And then you got people who also realize, oh, he's supposed to be the heel. Let's boo him.
Yeah.
Like it was a very mixed reaction. It wasn't until I would say Sky appeared that people were like, oh, yeah, we like him. We don't like him.
We're supposed to
right.
cheer now.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that led to a really fantastic match as the main event.
Yes.
And let's go ahead and start with the start of our show here, in which Jason Silver and his new partner, Bane Bailey, took on the Pub Crawlers. And
what's your favorite saying about Zero?
Nobody dies like Zero.
I was
like, I do wish he had better pushes and everything, but the man's ability to work with whoever,
especially bigger guys, man. I remember Remedy's debut match. That I don't want to say it made Remedy, obviously, because Remedy is a great talent on his own.
Yeah, Remedy will come in
and
just make himself.
Putting him in there with Zero and having him destroy Zero the way he did. He destroyed him, yes, but Zero had a lot of offense in to start that match.
Yeah.
It was laid out perfectly well to build up a great monster.
Yep.
And Zero did that, and Zero did it for Bane too.
Yeah. And in this match, Jason still proved he knows how to get the crowd going the way
Silver
he
is
wants.
a dick,
Oh,
and I
yes.
love it.
He's an ass, but he's our ass.
Exactly.
So,
Oh, is he? No, he can't take the asshole of MPX. That's Frankie.
That's why I just said ass.
But no, this teaming of Silver and Bane is amazing. It's one of those where, okay, obviously, yes, we joke that Silver's got a type when he's picking partners. Yeah. But it works.
I gotta say, it's like with his mask off, Bane Bailey, and I will admit, I had not actually seen a whole lot of Bane Bailey outside of his first appearance at MPX, but Bane Bailey looks like he could be Jason's younger brother.
Right, and it's one of those where I kind of wish he would keep the mask, which I'm sure it's hard to breathe and can't work with it, and you need a different type of mask. But I wish he would have kept the mask on, because as soon as he took it off, he's too good looking for that character. If that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? He's too good looking to be that character, be that guy, and to be a heel. Like he's
going to kick my ass later, but I had the similar issue with Sky when I first saw him.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
supposed to be this, giant, crazy nut job who's completely psycho, and you're supposed to be scared of him, but he's got such a soft baby face look to him.
Oh, yeah. When they're
like, it's hard to be scared.
And that's the thing. Bane was so clean shaven. I'm like, leave the mask on. It's more intimidating. Like, you take the mask off, and it's not, it's weird.
And it's like, it's hard. But then again, they say that evil is beautiful. So,
well, and look at Silver. Silver's not bad, and he's pretty, he's a dick. So it works. It can work. And Bane is destructive. I loved it.
Geez, yeah.
No problem. From, the one thing we're all worried about from where he came from, the strikes were great.
Yeah.
Zero's back almost got broke with a couple of them.
Yeah.
I was impressed. Because again, with bigger guys, size-wise, you're always like, can they move? Are they athletic? How are their strikes? And Bane was good. I was thoroughly impressed. I would love to see a singles match, just to see a full showcase of what he can do.
I'm hoping we eventually get the new model, old model fight at some point.
What, him and Sky or him and Hardakis?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, I know we're not going to get Hardakis back for a little while, but still, yes.
Either one of those. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing more of Gideon Vane, since we're talking about bigger guys that all kind of look alike. That Silver's
Bane
type
versus Gideon, that'd be cool.
Exactly.
Too. Bane versus Vane.
Yep. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do wish we had the Bane backbreaker, though. I was waiting for it.
I was too, but I think he's already looking like he just walked out of a cosplay. So I think he's trying to avoid
either way, I still think their finisher should be the old school demolition backbreaker to an elbow drop, or even a backbreaker to a 450.
Yeah.
That would be a great tag finisher. The timing on the 415 backbreaker would be hard as hell to do, though.
Maybe just like a leg drop or something.
But I mean, if anyone can do it, it probably could be Silver.
Yeah. That's true.
But no, this tag match I thought was good. I thoroughly enjoyed Silver finally going full heel, kind of. Because there are times where he goes back and forth, where he's like a tweener a little bit in the match, and then like he'll be with the crowd, and then he'll be against the crowd. Immediately started out against the crowd, took a little girl sign, ripped it up, loved it. Flicked.
No, actually, he didn't rip it up. He just tossed it on the crowd.
Oh, okay, tossed it. Yeah. I'm thinking of Schaefer. That's where
he didn't go full Schaefer on that one.
Good job, Schaefer. And then flicking off the crowd, telling me to shut the hell up. I loved it. It's great. When you're a heel and you play the full heel, there's nothing better.
And that's the whole thing. Is like sometimes sometimes people need to remember that, it's like let the heels be heels.
Yep.
Let them be the absolute worst, despicable people ever.
Yep.
You want to love them outside of that, that's fine. And I'm not saying that, heel marks shouldn't be allowed to be heel marks. I understand that people have a problem with that, but I'm not one of them. I'm saying the people who, they get upset when a heel heels out on them.
Right. When they can't take a joke, like, what was it, 2 weeks ago with Exodus? How she got all pissed off when it's like, dude, this is who he is.
Like, don't.
Yeah.
The wrestlers are not responsible for your mental health. If it's too much for you, step away. Come back to wrestling when you're a little better.
Yeah.
I mean, wrestlers do it. We do it. So.
Yeah. It's, it is mental. Well, no, that was last month, wasn't it?
Mental, physical, just sometimes it's just.
Sometimes you just, take care of yourself. And it's no one's responsible for you but you type of thing, which is shitty to say, but yeah.
It's like it's like if you're going to meet, Jason in the, grocery store, it kind of behooves him not to be a complete and total dick in the middle of a grocery store. But
there's a good chance he will.
I was going to say,
there's a good chance he will punch you in the dick.
Let
so
me talk about Schaefer. No,
he will too.
Crap. Which of our heels?
Dave will joke around with you, but also punch you in the dick.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm not looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
He's going to have us as a
wear a cup, buddy.
Yep. I was going to say he's going to have a trapped audience, captive audience. There we go.
Yes.
But yeah, of course, Jason and Bane coming away with the win on this one, and holy crap! I was like, a just new destructive tag team.
Yes.
I wonder if that would add to the 8 tag teams.
I would hope so. I'm telling you, we could have our one-night tournament. It's there.
And also, for certain people, my phone is dead right now, so I'm not going to be able to see any of your personal messages, responses, or anything like that for a little bit. So,
was that a knock at Dave trying to get annoy you on the show?
No, somebody else.
That's fine. I guess I'll have mine here in case.
Yeah. So if you want to interject on the show, start with him. But yeah. That was really good. I'm looking forward to seeing them as a destructive heel tag team and everything like that. And it's like with them and with Mayhem Mafia, we've got some really powerful heel tag teams.
We've got some very physical tag teams. And even our champions are pretty physical. Sebastion and Schaefer.
Calls himself the strong style cinephile for a reason.
Yeah, and this, unhinged Tatum and Philly Dave that we got,
It's our tag team division has gotten vicious.
It really has.
Makes me miss the boys a little bit because they were that way too, but Gabe's doing his thing and I'm loving it.
Yeah, exactly. Rugged's always good.
Yeah. But after that, we had the third and final of the third?
Rookie showcase?
Yeah, the rookie showcase in which Aaron Emerald was taking on Mikey B. Earlier in the night, Mikey B was giving a promo and got interrupted by Joe Garcia coming in to basically say he's tired of being ignored, overlooked, and everything like that because, he should be the champion. He should be the one taking on, Brixton at Aztec Warfare. He should be
Is he wrong?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say, it's like I'm hoping he's in Aztec Warfare so he can go all the way on that one and prove.
Yeah, this match, or I guess not match yet, but Joe coming in was great to see because Joe's one of those that I said when he had the prospect title. It's one of those where I'm sad he didn't get the full cash in momentum, because he's one of those I think deserves it, and he's one of those that's super talented. And ever since he came back late last year, I believe it was his first match back against Dexter. He's had match after match after match. That's just been amazing.
Yeah. Really
and there's not many. I mean, the still line from Lamada. There's not many smoother that I see in the ring that really is not Joe. Yeah. I mean, Joe is one of the smoothest wrestlers in that ring that makes everything look flawless and just seamless and is beautiful.
Yep. And honestly, we can talk more about that in a bit. I do want to actually try to keep to a time on at least this show because, that way we're ready when Sebastion gets here.
Whatever.
But the match between Aaron and Mikey was
what it was.
It was what it was. I will say it was better than last week. Aaron showed a lot more character this time than he did last time.
A lot more character, a lot more charisma.
Still very generic.
It is still very generic, but that's also just going to come with time because, as we know, gear's expensive. So it is going to take time to
I'm
get
not even
gear.
talking his gear. I'm talking his mannerisms. And
the mannerisms I was okay with a little bit. He's got a little hand sign. That's cool. I mean, we saw, it works for Sagan, works for XV. Like, little things like that help so much. Now, granted, I don't know the gist of it. I'm sure it's some Star Wars thing.
Yeah, I think it's a Mandalorian.
So, which, is great. Because if you do want to go full Star Wars, then cool, go full Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we're talking about, though, is even if it's something small like a helmet or even if it's a T-shirt, man, something that screams, hey, this is Star Wars related.
Yeah.
Because, yes, we get Tatooine. Okay, I would say even if you're not a huge Star Wars fan, Tatooine is.
Yeah. And it's like, even if you're not the biggest Star Wars fan, Duel of the Fates is one of the most popular outside of the Star Wars theme of all the Star Wars music.
Yep.
So
there's a good chance people get it, but there are some that may not.
Yeah.
So again, it's all a work in progress. Not everyone is going to come out like Mikey B with such a
oh my god! I mean,
such a character and such a charisma, and even
he's no Casey Clay.
Well, and that's even what I was gonna say, man. When you think about when Casey Clay first started, I mean, really, what was his gimmick? What was his character? He was him.
He and Noah were happy to be
exactly, and yet immediately Casey kind of broke out into fuck that. I'm just athletic. Like Casey Clay is almost, and not many wrestlers can do it, but they're almost Benoit and Lance Storm, to where they let their actions in the ring speak as to the character that they are.
And then we better on the mic too.
Exactly, and we got a little bit more of when he turned on Frankie. We got a little bit more of he's just kind of a selfish, cocky asshole.
He's the
which
one,
works.
He should be the hero of MPX.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And then how everyone's an imposter and stuff like that.
Like, just charisma wise and everything. And I'm not even talking moves in the ring. Mikey steamrolled Aaron.
Yes.
Like, I can barely remember any offense that Aaron put into this match at all because it didn't look. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't as bad as the week before, in which he couldn't even sell his own moves.
Right.
But it just, in the face of the just blinding charisma of Mikey B.
Well, the blinding was also the hair too.
Yeah, that bleach blonde. I know why he did it, but just
the real Slim Shady's great.
Yes. But so it's just like, I don't know. When it comes to personality, when it comes to charisma, I've got to say, and fully formed characters. Well, if we're talking fully formed characters, I'm going to say that it's Iron Belly and Mikey B are about matched there.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
But when it comes to charisma, Mikey B steamrolls both of them. Like
he does.
Nobody's business.
And it's one of those things where you have three things that make like a really good wrestler: charisma, athleticism, and then psychology.
Yes.
And Mikey's definitely got the charisma. He's got some athleticism. Psychology is where I think most are going to kind of falter. That's probably the hardest thing to teach.
It's hard to actually just teach that. They got to learn it through experience.
Exactly.
Experience is that thing that you get after you need it most.
Very few can come in like Jackson, Ryan, Tommy, Casey, Noah, Red, where they hit the ground running and you're like, holy shit. Even then, like Noah and Red, they took a little time. Tommy and Ryan took some time.
Yeah, it's like Red had the advantage of working as long as he did as a referee. whatever. I'm not even gonna.
I was gonna say, I was like, I didn't say it, but okay, yeah, we'll go there.
Noah, it's like Noah has been building himself up, and it's been really good.
And he has gotten so much better.
Yeah, if you compare Noah now to Noah then, it is a totally different person. But it's like, it's like the only person that I'm looking at, like in the last 3 years that I've seen the rookies coming in. The one that was 100% came in and just seemed almost fully formed was Casey.
Yep.
Because he came in, threw himself at the ground so hard that, it was scared of him.
Yep. And
just threw everything into it. And I'm not even saying, it's like, even then, that's not fully formed.
No.
It's just so bombastic, it's hard to forget, or it's easy to forget that it's that he's a rookie.
Yep.
But
I mean, even Legs had a great character and athleticism. You saw he's kind of faltered here and there. He got better. Yeah, Casey's one of those, man. He came in, boom.
But with this match, like I said, the psychology was missing a little bit. Mikey ruled the entire situation up until he was about to hit his finisher, and then out comes Joe to push him off of the ropes and beat the snot out of him, giving Mikey the win with a DQ.
Well, and to be fair, he rewatched and Mikey made fun of him.
Yeah,
so
no, I forgot to bring up during that promo, Mikey. I loved Mikey's.
Yeah, which was pretty great.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting to see Joe and Aaron have a moment where they kind of just looked at each other and then go, oh, okay, yeah, let's beat him up. And because it wasn't even a, hey, help me, or hey, do this. It was just kind of a look, and then, all right, cool. And then you start jumping them.
It's like, are you going to help him?
Yep.
No? Me?
Okay.
You going to help me? All right, let's go.
And then, of course, Daddy's got to come save him.
I was like, I will admit, I was almost expecting Iron Belly to run out.
Again, you would.
Well, no, it's just that's how things had been going. But with Kirby coming out, that made the most sense.
Yeah. To me, it was always going to be Kirby. Because he's going to protect his students, especially students that are taken advantage of, even if it's students taking advantage of students. I mean, we saw it with Ryan, Tommy, and Jackson taking on Noah and Casey and all them. So it's, it was great to see. And then that match got set up, obviously, for a tag match. Yeah, your dog's going crazy. But yeah, it was, so we got set up for Aaron and Joe versus Kirby and Mikey B, it was great to see Kirby and Mikey B kind of interact with each other. Because that was kind of fun, because Kirby doesn't really seem like the boy band type.
Yeah. But he does have a teenage daughter, so I can imagine
with it
anyway.
And his partner was Baby D, and she's obviously going to make him have fun. So,
yeah.
But no, it was, and we'll talk about it later. But that tag match was good. I liked it.
The tag match was good.
I thought that tag match to me showed more of where Mikey and Aaron are than their singles match did.
Yeah, honestly. After that was Xavier Daniels and Big Ced taking on Sagan Manning for the tag team number one contendership, and this one was
great. It was a great match.
Yeah.
Totally shocked that Big Ced did not leave a handprint on Tatum.
No,
it was on Dave.
It was on Dave,
and that shocked the hell out of me.
All I said was that somebody was going to walk away with a handprint,
but it's
apparently everybody expected it was going to be Tatum.
Well, yeah, because like I said on the show, if the Tommy Becker is not in there, who probably has the most choppable chest, it's Tatum's next.
True,
and
very true.
Yeah, no, that wasn't there. This match I thought was good. I enjoyed all the videos and the back talk with Tatum and Xavier, because you've got two of the loudest trash talkers in the business right now.
Oh yeah.
So it was great. I forgot what Tatum called Xavier when he first baby Lashley.
Yeah.
Which got a nice little reaction from the crowd, and then even a chant. So and just X is not someone I want to piss off, man. Yeah. Xavier may be tiny, but he scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, Matt Xavier Daniels is not great.
I think people forget that man's from Cell Block D.
I thought that Sagan Manning's some of their tag team moves were just like super inventive.
Yes. And that's the one thing I've noticed ever since they've kind of formed this tag team is, and I've said it before, they've really brought tag team wrestling back as far as the moves, the chemistry, the quick tags. everything
showing what a
together.
tag team is.
Exactly, and that's why most of their tag team matches have been great.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy them being a team together, and then with Big Set and Xavier, it's another team that seems kind of just thrown together, but they work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very impressive. And I guess I'm also just sucker for the mixed match tag team, like Bane and Silver, like Big Set and X, where
I went on
X
a whole
is big, but
about that. And
yeah, well, you did it wrong.
Sure.
But no, it's great. Just given what's happening next week and Aztec Warfare, this match really was kind of useless now. Yeah, so it just good tag match. Don't get me wrong. Just now it doesn't make sense. Like why there was no real point to it.
Yeah. It's like it was almost a little predetermined, especially with what's gonna happen next week. But honestly, it's one of those. How do you make it feel like it was earned?
Right.
And how do you make it feel like it's really hard to do that.
And that's the thing. So we all kind of knew because Aztec Warfare is Dave's last MPX performance show, whatever. So obviously we all had an idea that he's going to get the tag title. So obviously we figured Sega Man will win. The shock came when it's now Xavier and Big Sad getting a tag title shot before Sega Manning this coming Saturday, and it's like. We got the report. Xavier, forced his way into. Can we get a video of that?
Big Said forced his way in because it's like Xavier. Yeah, I wouldn't want to piss him off, but Big Said I wouldn't want to, annoy.
Right, and it's just one of those where it's like, well, ask Emilio. I mean, you had joked about that of how. There's something about Los Cornels, man. They rub the teams the wrong way. We've never seen Ryan lose his cool, and Ryan lost his cool. And Big Said he went a little hard.
Usually a very controlled.
So
he lost his.
It's it's interesting, but
and you can't say it's just one member of Los Cornels. It was
both of them
because it was
which
Cesar. I was about to say.
I like him. Oh, it's Chavo. It's Chavo and Eddie. And then Chavo Classic, I guess, was the one on the outside.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Or Hector.
I love the Mexican magic.
Yeah.
From that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's like Big Said no, would not. I wouldn't even want to annoy him. I wouldn't want to him to be like catching red lights and then I come across him.
Right. Well, and it's one of those where it's like
a scary man.
I get the story and the idea of, Xavier pinned him or whatever, and therefore they get their title match because they force MPX Match Man. Can we get a video? That speaks more volumes than just words.
To it than
right.
Just,
well. Which, again, I get it's hard to get people in film and stuff like that, but I don't know, just give it a little more something.
It was a lucky break that X and
or even
did what they did.
Right, or even make this match a non-title match and make them earn. I get we have to have a tag match, but
we could have another tag match later on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
it will be interesting to see. It's like X versus Sebastion, Ced versus Schaefer, in which
Ced versus Schaefer is going to be good.
That
matchup.
I want to see it mixed up too, but still,
right.
It's like you got two sets of guys that are very similar in form.
Yeah, who's taller? Xavier? Nah, Xavier's taller. I know. I don't even need to ask. Xavier's taller.
It's only because the muscles pump him up a little more.
No, he has no neck. You've seen that.
I was going to say Sebastian actually has no, those
the traps.
The traps just push it up higher.
Trapzilla, Quadzilla, Bicepzilla. Xavier's got it all. Pexzilla.
Big man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good match. I'm looking forward to the match next week, and of course at Aztec Warfare because the last time was fucking amazing. This will have another one.
Yes.
After that was it's a match with somebody from Oklahoma. Do we want to talk about that?
Pretty sure we have to talk about King of Fuck Shit Mountain, don't we?
I guess. Are you just going to keep adding expletives?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Bobby Lashley's not Lashley. Bobby Fish didn't use it anymore. Might as well give it to fucking Tommy Dean.
I was gonna say it's like at this point, it's like by the end of the year, you're gonna sound like you got Tourette's or something. Like King of fuck.
What's your problem? Oh, I'm just talking about Tommy Dean.
But yeah, Tommy Dean versus Casey Clay in this match.
Match of the night,
Oh,
and
it really was.
most
It really was.
most athletic match
Mhm.
that we've had in, and it really is. And God, I hate saying it because that inflates both our egos. It is on my list of match of the year.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely on that list.
This match is phenomenal. We knew the athleticism of Casey.
Yeah.
We've seen it ever since he debuted. We're now seeing Tommy Dean show more and more athleticism and more in his matches. And Tommy Dean promised all the moonsaults, and we got all the moonsaults.
Oh yeah, we did. Heck, we even got an extra moonsault in the main event.
Yeah, we did. That was also impressive to see hit. But this one is, I will give, because we saw everyone's favorite, the whole where they're on their knees, standing moonsault onto them. I gotta give that one to Casey, because Casey ran into it and hit it perfectly.
Yeah.
And
he
as
hit
hot,
it perfectly, but he missed.
as hot as that building is, with as much sweat as on those two men, how he hit that is incredible.
It was just really good. Yeah.
And again, just him and Tommy, athletic as hell, both of them.
Yeah.
Tommy getting the win, because Frankie wanted to stick his nose in there.
Loud Frankie appeared, yeah.
Well,
and,
let's be honest. He saw we were all hot, so
Yeah.
he wanted to go turn the thermostat down,
he came
and that's why Frankie came out.
Yeah,
But no, having this
especially
match.
since Tatum actually messed with the thermostat before that, so
Well, knowing Tatum and hanging out with Dave, he probably turned it up.
yeah.
Because that's something Dave would do. But no, this was, again, the most athletic match we've seen in MPX in a long time.
Yeah.
Like I said, definitely one of my match of the year contenders already. That's not, and it's going to be interesting to see when
I think he's mad because he's not getting paid attention to.
when Tommy goes against Exodus, because that's again going to be another very athletic match. And obviously we're setting up for Frankie versus Casey coming up in that I don't know what you want to call it, unsanctioned fight, street fight, whatever they're doing.
It's going to be just a hell of a fight.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a brawl. It's going to be interesting to see, because again, Casey lost because he got distracted, but he walked out the winner technically.
Yeah.
Frankie was the one left lane, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. Go on, buddy. Sorry, we're having to move things around. Oh, you said in. He went to the cage. Go in there. Sorry about that. This is one of the issues of live. But I'm definitely looking forward to Tommy Dean versus Exodus Prime.
Yes.
That's cool. We're talking about this being an athletic match. With him versus Exodus, that is going to be super athletic.
That's because one, Exodus is not one to be overshadowed.
No.
Exodus is going to hear us talk about this and go, oh, okay, I'll fucking prove both of y'all wrong. I'm going to have a better match.
Yeah.
And Tommy's the same way. Tommy, every time we see Tommy, he wants to have a better match than the last time we saw him.
So we're halfway through the year, right? And I've already started thinking about the end of the year fan awards. I was thinking that, Dmitry Alexandrov, with all the work he's been putting in, was going to definitely take Wrestler of the Year this year. Exodus Prime has come in and he's carried MPX in a lot of ways.
He really has. We'll definitely see where we go with that, because Dimitri had a great run. Sky's still coming off a great run. We've got Remedy making noise. Sebastion and Schaefer have made noise.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent that could be, Wrestler of the Year, Match of the Year.
Got that one's gonna be the hardest one to
you can
pare
even
down.
kind of look at Tommy. Tommy Dean's come in and the matches he's had and the statements he's made.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted best lariat, he wanted best chop, and
he's working for it.
That chop stung a little bit. It probably hurt. I don't know. We'll have to. Well.
Ooh. Ooh. I know who's next on the Try Not to Tap challenge.
Yeah, sorry.
He may not have a choice in the matter.
Sorry about that one. But no, that's and that's the thing. Like, we have to kind of figure. We still need that chop battle.
Yeah.
We got Mikey B, we got Iron Belly, and we got
we got
Aaron.
a bunch of rookies.
Put them in corners. We got Brixton. We've got Tommy, Jackson, Gino, Joe.
I can already tell.
There's
Iron
a lot of people that
Belly's
have
around.
hard
He's
chops.
on his way home right now, just to like, how dare you?
And then we also have the lariats. We'll have that eventually.
But then after that was the actual MPX Addicts Championship match, which I'm glad we got this one because this one was really good and it was very well deserved. He got, Luigi got screwed out of this one. We had 2 refs.
How did he get screwed out of this one? It was his own fault.
Oh, no, not this one. Out of the last one. That's what I was going for.
I was like, he cost himself this one.
Luigi Primo versus Exodus Prime, and I understand why we got this one so soon because unfortunately Exodus Prime won't be there next week.
Yeah, prior engagements because Exodus is a very busy man now.
And from what I've heard, he's actually upset. He's like, God.
Oh
dude.
yeah,
I'm
sure he is.
He honors his contract, ladies and gentlemen. So
despite what people think of him.
Yeah, this match.
He loves defending the bag.
Yeah. This match was good. We got to see even more of Luigi, coming out and just showing what he can do.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm almost ready to put Exodus up there on, where we used to put Frankie and everybody. Where if you're going to take on for the first time at MPX.
Which is crazy because Exodus hasn't even been here a year.
I know. That's just weird.
And it's funny because I look back at his first match and I think it was you or it was maybe Pat, but I was like, I don't think Exodus is coming back because it was not a very good showing with him and Silver, and it looked like Silver got really pissed off and they messed up a lot, and I was like, man, I don't think Exodus is going to come back. And now he's one of our top guys.
Yeah.
And
we're not just because he's a champion, but just because he's inserted himself that.
And I think that's the thing. I don't think. When he came in, I don't think MPX management really knew what they had, and Exodus showed what he could do.
And that's even with MPX management loving him.
Yeah,
already to start.
I mean, he came in, and like we said, him and Schaefer are probably the best heels we have as far as working the crowd and getting the crowd to actually do what they're supposed to and hate them.
Right here, and he's going to kick your ass for that.
They're the two.
Oh,
see? Oh, and they have their whole argument about PlayStation and Xbox. It's pretty interesting. Go check it out.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's almost making me root for Exodus Prime because some of us only have an Xbox, man. Come on, be nice.
Fuck Xbox.
I can't afford $500 fucking dollars.
Hey,
that was a birthday.
First of all, I was gonna say, first of all, you just get both. Number one. Yeah. Number two, true gamers do PC. I hate PC, so therefore I guess I'm not a true gamer. So but yeah, I prefer Sony. Yeah. God of War, Spider-Man, better games.
Yeah.
I got you. Dave will say Halo. Fuck Halo. So unless you are multiplayer, Halo's not fun. So I don't like the story.
It's like this match with the 2 refs. It was looking like he's like, okay, how are they going to have this turn out for Exodus? Is he just going to win?
Yeah.
Or is this going to be?
Because I was like I even said, I was still halfway expecting Silver to sort of strike the one ref on the outside. Exodus do something, something would happen, and
we got a bit of a swerve on that one.
Yeah.
And it was
Luigi distracted himself.
Yeah, it's like he threw the pizza dough at Exodus. Exodus ducked out of the way. It hit Travis.
I told Travis that he needs to check the dough beforehand. I know, he did not.
It's like sometimes maybe they should listen to you.
Oh, everyone should always listen to me. You should know that by now. Oh, yeah, Last of Us is another great game. I didn't like Last of Us 2, though. The story, I didn't like the ending. The story was weird. Last of Us 1 was amazing, though.
I mean, I've heard all the dissertation when it comes to The Last of Us 2. I'm not getting into that one because I know that some people are just butthurt.
But yeah. No, the match was great. Again, Luigi is someone... At the beginning of the year, I said I wanted MPX to bring in because I knew the Addicts would love him, and they do. You immediately, the Addicts, it's that type of character and gimmick the Addicts eat up. I mean, look at fucking Legs.
Yeah.
I mean,
like there is actually a reason that for as long as he was doing it, why Sebastion Envi was super popular with the fans with the Black Goku thing.
Yeah.
It's like because the MPX Addicts love cartoon characters. That's why I was actually a little disappointed that they didn't go for the cinephile thing. Because here he is now, the Stanley Kubrick.
Well, because they like cartoons. They don't like movies. They don't like good productions.
Picture,
exactly.
Not word.
Yeah. They don't like silent films. But no, it's they do. The Addicts are probably one of the weirdest wrestling groups there really is.
There really is.
For the fact that. Yes, while they love their Luigis and their Legs and stuff like that, they also love the great wrestling of,
Exodus
like Exodus and Casey and stuff like that. They love the athleticism. They also, to a degree, because they did walk out during Remedy and Sky. They love deathmatch and hardcore stuff
Okay,
too.
so that was a couple of teenagers who would. Who
Oh, I was
were
so
not
happy though. I was so
No,
happy.
it's perfect. That is exactly the kind of reaction you want from some of the fans.
When you get a reaction just off the noise of a staple gun, there's nothing better. Just imagine hearing a light tube bust in that arena. Oh, and if you've never been in
never again.
Oh, I know, but if you've never been in the building that size, when a light tube busts, the sound is there's nothing better.
Trust me. There were a few things that I really benefited from going to the DCW show from that week, because I actually got to talk to Dave for the first time. I really talked to him. I got to talk to Ian. I got to talk to Riza. I got to a whole bunch of people I actually got to talk to. It's also where I had the embarrassing moment of CT and Steve. Crap, the guy that looks like CT, but he's
DeMarco.
DeMarco, yeah.
How do you confuse those two?
When they're not in gear and both have the.
I still don't know how you confuse them. You want to throw Dimitri in that too? Does he look? Oh, okay.
No.
I figured just all bearded guys look the same to you. Racist.
Motherfucker. Oh, but let's go ahead and talk about the next match, because Exodus won the last one with a.
Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to talk about DeMarco anymore, anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really wish I had been at that one, because that was a good show. But yeah, after that was the tag team match of Aaron Emerald and Joe Garcia versus Kirby and Mikey B. And this one it's like you could definitely tell the veterans were making up for the missing parts of the rookies.
They were, but like I said, the rookies weren't as bad as, like, Aaron was more improved than last time, and Mikey B is Mikey B. Yeah. He still has a great ceiling to reach. He still has potential. You can see it. His character obviously is great. He knows how that character works for him.
Yeah.
He knows what to do. He knows how to move. He's got the crowd where he wants them, because the young white boy section loves him.
White boy section, yep.
Yes, they love him. It's no longer a Tatum section, and we know why. And Aaron wasn't that bad.
No.
He was better.
Yeah.
But yes, Kirby and Joe, definitely being the veterans they are and being as good as they are, definitely kind of took lead and control this match, and it turned out well.
Yeah.
Aaron took a hell of a spike off that package pile driver.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Yep. And that led to, of course, Mikey B getting the win with his splash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Everyone, the Tommy Becker gets injured, and everyone's trying to do
the frog splash.
Everyone's trying to do a frog splash, or everyone's trying to win most athletic. It's just, it's crazy. See what happens when you get injured. People try to take your spot. That's okay. The Tommy Becker will be back.
It's like Iron Man 2,
What about Iron Man 2?
When you make God bleed, the sharks will come.
Oh, I loved Whiplash, though. A lot of people didn't like him. I liked it.
The writing was the problem. The character was not. Yeah.
I thought you didn't like Mickey Rourke anyways, though.
No, I love it.
Oh, okay.
He's nuts, but it's like I love his characters.
Most great actors are.
Yeah. He's like almost Gary Busey kind of crazy, though.
Well, that's boxing.
Yeah.
That's a couple of concussions.
Yeah. But, so Mikey B winning that one. Let's go ahead and go with the...
and Kirby. It's a tag team match. Can't just say Mikey B won.
Yeah, no, I am going to get yelled at. It's like vicariously yelled at, I guess. It's like... Because we've already gotten yelled at that, we did not include certain people in, big man wrestlers.
Who?
I'll tell you later.
Okay, I was going to say, who? I figured I ran down a good list.
Yeah, you did. You just forgot the boss.
Oh, please.
So the main event.
It's okay. I can see the argument that he should be placed there, but that's not. Does he really seem that big and imposing?
Same for me. He's like, he's not that. I don't really count as a big man. He's kind of like on the high side of average.
Well, and let's be honest. It's okay for me to say someone's big. It's kind of contradictory because
like over 6 feet.
It's not even that, because the first time I met Hardakis, I'm technically bigger than Hardakis. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And like Fitz, like big Fitz, we're kind of the same size. So it's kind of weird for me to say bigger guys, because while I think they're bigger, like Schaefer, okay. I didn't realize how much taller I am than Schaefer.
Yeah.
Yet Schaefer when he's in the ring, he looks super huge. Mm-hmm. It's crazy how that works sometimes.
Yeah. And then, of course, the main event, Tim Storm, Michael Schaefer, the leading man. He says the Kingsman is dead. Long live the leading man. And
I don't know why we couldn't kept leading Kingsman. There's a
Okay.
new Kingsman movie coming out. It
been-
works.
He has been trying to drop the Kingsman.
I know.
For years, man.
I know, but
Let it
that's why I
die.
keep wanting it there. It's just that friendly reminder of, hey, remember when you're remember this? Remember?
You're talking to the guy who kept trying to get him and Larry to tag team again, okay? I understand.
But no, and it's like I said last week, just the little nuance of adding sunglasses made him a complete new character, and it works. And now he's got the attitude.
He just He's like, yeah, this will work.
Yeah, and now he's got the attitude to go with it of being this prima donna actor. It's brilliant. Like it's a case in
And
point
that is
of
why I
you
am
can
begging- I
do
am
so
begging that
little and make it look so much more.
I am begging that if and when Best Picture loses the titles, that the team doesn't implode like the last two tag teams that Schaefer was in, because I really
Try
love
3 or
this.
4. Try every tag team but Larry.
I guess, yeah. And of course, Sky the Lacrimosa, the Texas Chainsaw, was there. And,
Huge reaction.
Yeah.
Um,
And I loved Schaefer leaning into the gimmick of being the leading man, and it's like yelling "cut" before the
but
match
that's a
even
director
starts.
thing. He's not a director.
But that's the leading man kind of thing.
But it,
It's like
I
almost
didn't
expected
like.
him to say "cut," go to a one of the refs, or be like line.
That I would have liked.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
It's just like, oh, it's Remedy. Oh, we're going to be
Fun.
talking about next week in a bit, so that's going to be good. Yes,
Yes.
yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
So looking forward to that. But yeah, it's like him leading into that, I'm loving it.
Yes.
It's
Like
the
I
fact
said.
that it's like with Barely Gentlemen and with Greatest Tag Team Alive. With Barely Gentlemen, it was just a couple of big guys in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
With Greatest Tag Team Alive,
Couple of big guys.
It was a couple of big guys, but it was Schaefer and Kirby being Schaefer and Kirby.
Yeah, it was
in a lot
more
of ways.
just them being them.
Yeah, it's like, so there really wasn't much of with this, with the leading man, it's just, he's got a character now.
Yep.
And I love it. It's
Well, not like I said, this shows that you don't have to do a lot to totally revamp who you are.
No.
Literally, glasses and a cocky prima donna attitude,
Yeah.
and it's completely different Schaefer.
Mhm.
And it's amazing, and it works. And again, that is going back to what we were talking about earlier with psychology and charisma. Schaefer's one of those that, I've said it before in MPX, he's got a complete package.
yeah.
He should be MPX champion a couple times over.
Yeah,
It's
you get on
the
me about wanting
strange,
Sebastion to win everything, and
but
you
it's
won't
not. It's
get
not.
off of the Michael
It's,
Schaefer thing.
but it's not even that, because it is the strangest booking in the history I've ever seen
It
of
is.
building someone up so many times to have him fail,
Mhm.
build him back up, have him fail. Yet after he fails, he comes back as the devastating monster he's always been.
Yeah.
I mean, case in point, almost every match he's in, he's hardly ever off his feet. No one really picks him up. No one ever slams him down. No one really I mean, it's
I don't
just.
think anybody even did that with this one.
I mean, he got knocked to the outside. I don't think anyone slammed him.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about all the moonsaults.
No, he's the one who took the Death by Stereo.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, he did. Fuck, I forgot about that. That was impressive.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing is, again, he's athletic as hell. He did a moonsault perfectly and actually nailed it.
He actually nailed this one.
And he nailed it on Tim Storm, which is kudos to Tim
Ooh,
Storm.
yeah.
That shocked the hell out of me that he
yeah.
agreed to do that. But no, it was amazing. And again, it's just one of those, all three of these men, it's one of those where you look at them and everyone's going to say Tim Storm's a little old and past his prime or whatever. Tim Storm still got it. Tim Storm is amazing. He's one of those that, for Texas wrestling, he is a Texas legend.
He really is.
And Sky's one of those.
Wrestling in general. He's
With NWA and everything.
Yeah.
Before Billy Corgan took that over, he's the one that carried NWA and kept them somewhat relevant. And with Sky being on the run he's on in the past couple of years, it just gets better and better. And someone who's been in there, 12 years, give or take, I think.
Mhm.
It's crazy just finally finding, I don't know if it's confidence or drive or what, but finding what it is to where it all clicks and you're on this hell of a run.
Yeah.
And then for Schaefer, same thing. Schaefer, we've talked about it before, where Schaefer is, when he's on, he's on.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he's off, and you can tell sometimes he's not fully into it.
Right now,
He's on because I think he really enjoys what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
He enjoys this new character idea he's going. He likes. I think he just enjoys having something kind of built for him.
Yeah.
But all three of these, man, was a great match.
It really was.
And again, like I said, the reaction to Sky kind of shocked me at first because it wasn't just me. Most people think, "Oh, it's just me." No, it's not. It's not just me anymore. It's a lot of the addicts.
Cheering section now,
and it's not even me. Like I'm no longer the
girls.
loud one. It's crazy.
Yeah.
No,
he's got that whole group of goth teenage girls just screaming.
Yep. So it's crazy to see everyone kind of get behind him, which you kind of look at his character like, how are people getting behind such a crazy person? But it works.
It's like it works great.
So having him win this match and go on the Aztec Warfare is going to be very interesting to see if he can get the title back against Brixton. But yeah, it was a good card, good match, good, good week.
Yeah, definitely.
This is where you take over.
Well, okay. So that was MPX's Everybody Hurts. Obviously, we loved the show, and it very much was the lead into what's going to happen at Aztec Warfare. But before Aztec Warfare, we have Liberty Day, and we were very clear that, like I said, we don't feel all that qualified to talk about the importance of not just the show, but the day itself. So I called in a friendship favor, and ladies and gentlemen, give us just a moment, and welcome to the show, Sebastion Envi, MPX Tag Team Champion.
I was going to say, please mention he's one half of the Tag Team Champions. Yeah. At least do part of your job right.
That's just because I'm ADD.
Yeah.
And if you want to, as soon as you're ready. All right. Sorry, it's kind of warm. It's hot.
Well, yeah, because someone has to set their thermostat to 78.
It's not at 78. It is at 72. A fucker.
ERCOT said 78.
So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, welcome to the show. Sebastion Envi, one half of the MPX Tag Team Champions, and the Strong Style Cinephile. And obviously, according to some, the guy that I just can't get off the dock of.
Hey, I dropped that recently. You're the one bringing it back up.
You still make the jokes, man.
Every now and then.
And if it's not you, it's Pat.
Yeah,
but,
that's more what it is.
Good taste, you have good taste. So.
Yeah. You're the reason I go to MPX in the first place, so,
Pat says finally, someone who belongs.
Speaking of Pat, so, thanks for coming on the show, man. Obviously, doing all the directing and your own YouTube channel and everything like that with your critical work and everything, you're a very busy guy. So I really do appreciate you coming onto the show.
Oh, no problem. This show on Saturday is something that's very important to me and to I wager everybody on the card. So once it was brought up to us, definitely jumped at the idea of doing it. I told him, as long as it's kind of that we do it nice and respectively, like there's no like cheesy gimmicks or
not a sideshow.
Yeah, we're not gonna do like chitlins on a pole match or something like that. But just the idea behind it, just spotlighting African American workers, I think is awesome, and just educating more people about the day in general, because it's something that even when I was up in MPX on Monday, I was getting some comments for I'm crafting like a explanation type of video or informational video that's going to play during the show that kind of breaks down a little bit of what Juneteenth is, where it came from, and that sort of thing, and just talking to some of the other folks up there that didn't know what it was or know much about it. They've heard about it more and more, and I think it's kind of gaining steam in recent years. But there are a lot of people that didn't know kind of what it was. So any part we can play in educating people.
Yeah. Well, it did just get voted in by the Senate and Congress as a national holiday now.
Yes, it was unanimously passed in the Senate, and there were 14 who voted no in the House, all on the right side.
Yep.
So,
One of them had an argument I actually agree with, and it's simply because they're wanting to call it National Independence Day, which, sorry, it has a name, guys.
Yeah, that I mean, I can almost kind of see that, and because he kind of laid it out as like they don't want people to. Well, he laid out two things. Like one, he said he didn't want people to be confused between that and Independence Day, which I don't think that would ever happen. The other one, he said that he thought that people would choose like an Independence Day based on their race, which I thought was stupid because it's like Independence Day, like they're two different things. You know, it's like one freed, the country, the whole country as a whole, to allow it to be able to become this country that it is. The other one freed people that were still like enslaved in the country. So it's two fundamentally different things. So the idea that we can kind of educate people, because even because one of the people I talked to for my informational video was a Dr. McKissick, who's the professor of African American Studies at Texas A&M University in Commerce.
Wow.
And because I wanted an authoritative voice to kind of be the backbone of my video, and he, just talking to him, I learned some things that I didn't even realize about the day and kind of where it came from. And it's like it's just about education. I mean, I don't think anybody should shy away from education and kind of knowing what we've gone through. And the whole adage is, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it or bound to repeat it, that sort of thing. It's not a cliche. That stuff can happen. So it's dark. Some parts of American history are dark and they're bad, and people shy away from that because they're scared to face those things. But it's kind of, that's what we need to face, because it's like I was talking to one of my brothers earlier about the video and everything, and kind of we both kind of talked about how in school we learned about the Emancipation Proclamation, how that Lincoln like freed the slaves with that, but it's like that's kind of where it stopped. So you didn't hear about Juneteenth and the fact that there was still slavery going even after that, and it was like I think 3 years later when Union troops arrived in Galveston to enforce the whole hey, slavery's over thing. So the fact that it has, I think it's even a bigger deal here because it has direct Texas ties.
Right.
And I just think it's important to educate all of us, because it goes back to the comments that the dude was saying that people were going to pick like a holiday according to the race. It's like, no, you should, if you care about your fellow man, which we all should. I mean, if you're a Bible thumper, if you're not, everybody can subscribe to the fact that you treat people how you want to be treated. Everybody should be treated equally. So you should want to celebrate a day like this. Everybody should, white, black, brown, whatever, should want to celebrate Juneteenth, because it's a day that everybody's like acknowledge, everybody's supposed to be free. So to bring any sort of light on that, I'm definitely happy to be a part of.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm actually very glad to hear that you're putting together that video, because it's like I was actually going to ask you, it's like, are you doing with the skill set you have? Are you doing anything special for it? So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and it's again, I know I talk a lot of crap about the MPX ads, and no disrespect to them, but it's like you were saying, schools don't really teach this anymore. And there's a lot of things, like you said, those who forget history are doing to repeat it. So hearing like the story and hearing the reason behind you, I think that's really good. So having a video, I think, is really going to help, especially a lot of the younger addicts, because there are some that probably have no idea what's going on. Because everyone, we as a society tend to shy away from, oh, well, that's in the past. That was, it was our bad. We don't want to talk about it. No, we need to talk about it. Therefore, we don't do it again. It's kind of like it always amazed me, and I get why Germany doesn't really talk about World War II over there with Hitler and stuff. But at the same time, you probably should, because those are things, like you said, we need to learn as a society, hey, this was wrong. It effed us up for a while. We do not need to do that again.
In fact, we need to move further past that.
Exactly. So I think having this video is going to help the addicts a lot and understand more of the meaning behind it and what's going on, and how it's not just this isn't just a wrestling show to celebrate the black athletes. No, there's a reason we're doing this. So I think it's great.
And going off that, that's what I really hope that people, because we have good attendance for pretty much all the shows when it comes to MPX. So I'm really hoping people still turn out to our regulars still turn out to this show. Hopefully, we could even bring in some more, people to the show. May not necessarily go to the shows. I really hope attendance is good. That it's not just kind of written off as oh, it's the black show.
Right.
That's like that was my first thought with going into this. But I think that the addicts, the fans in this area in general are better than that. I think they're bigger than that. I think they'll still. I think they'll turn out for a good show, and it's going to be, a good show.
I think it's going to be a great show from the matchups we've seen already announced, and then we've also got some talent that we haven't seen in a while that I know a lot of people. Nate Collins, I know for one, is whenever he's on a show, there are usually a lot more fans because he either brings his own family or there are fans that actually come to see him. Yeah. So I think the turnout is going to be good, maybe slightly better, because I've always had this talk with MPX management. I feel we're at the point, or MPX is at the point. I know. I keep doing that.
Once again, we do not work for MPX. We do not represent MPX.
MPX is at the point where they draw what they're going to draw. They're never really going to go down per se. They're only going to go up because they have that certain base because of Running Weekly, because of the network, because of the addicts that are always there, like us, Ernie's Clan, Lugos, all these other, sections, the Pretty White Boy section. There's all these addicts that are always there regardless. So they've got that. They have a great floor. Very rarely will it dip down. I think if anything, it only goes up. And I think this show is one of those that I think it will go up just because there's talent there that hasn't been there in a while. Jerome coming in is always huge. Remedy is someone that the addicts have really gotten behind. So I think they're going to be excited to see him go against Brixton. I think attendance is going to be pretty good. I don't think it's going to be less. I think it's going to be a good showing.
So real quick, I do want to actually get your opinion on some of the matches that we're going to have. Obviously, we've announced 4 of them?
4 or 5, I think, yeah.
4? I only know of 4. The 3 I've got here, and of course the tag team match. Obviously, let's go ahead and start with yours. You're going to be you and Schaefer are going to be taking on Big Said and Xavier Daniels. Have you even worked either of them before?
Daniels, I smashed in one of my prospect title defenses.
I was going to say, I remember him in X.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So he's inconsequential in the match. And Big Said, we go back, years to when I started training with XCW in Denton in its waning days. So I've known him for years. I've wrestled him out in Mineral Wells once. Outside of that, we've just been boys for years. I've tagged with him a few times. In years past, I wanted to get a tag team off the ground with him. Things just didn't go that way. But should be a good match. But, he's my boy. But that's not going to influence me in the match.
I know you can't fully speak for Schaefer, but what do you think it means for him for being one, if not the only white person kind of on this show?
He's the token white boy?
Schaefer's cool. He was cool enough to get invited to the cookout. So, it's just,
God, I've never gotten an invite. Tatum's probably gotten several.
My brothers bring me home doggy bags.
No, I think that he understands the impact, the potential impact we can have for putting on the show. And as you guys said, he's been on it in the past several weeks, bordering on past several months. So I think he's going to be focused on just being the best of himself and best picture, being the best we can be, get the best out of the match, and just add to what's going to be a fire show.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. Then we've also got, he mentioned JD Griffey. He's going to be taking on Nate Collins, the Concrete Cowboy, who you've got a history with at MPX.
Yeah.
Former partner.
Yeah.
Technically was, I guess. If you have
Technicality,
to
yeah.
That, but yeah, I'm looking forward to JD Griffey doing his thing and just smashing Nate.
Yeah, that's it's one of those matches where we've seen before, but it's one of those kind of like Dimitri and Luke. Whenever they're in the ring, it's a solid match.
Especially with Nate getting more and more into the MMA styles and everything. And, of course, Griffey being as good of a MMA guy as he is.
You just, when you talk about, again, kind of going back to my boy Schaefer, just have just finding himself in something that he
Mhm.
enjoys, and like when he's on, he's on. You talk about like Sky kind of finding himself. I think the evolution of I mean, I'll give this props. The evolution of Nate from start to kind of where he is now. The evolution of Jerome over the years from
Yep.
where he started to where he is now. I think is phenomenal.
Mhm.
It's great, and it's a unique skill set that I think both of them bring to the table. So I'm looking forward to the match and looking forward to a point in time where, because me and Jerome have met in the ring a few times in the past, once in a tag team match, once in a one-on-one, but it was before we got to be the men we are today. So
Yep.
I'm really wanting another crack at him, kind of.
Jeez.
Yeah, because he was also one of those that started at XCW way back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be seeing y'all where y'all are now would be really good to see.
Yeah.
It's always a treat to have Jerome, because Jerome being who he is in MPX history, one of the more decorated champions we've had. It's always great to have him come back.
Mhm.
And then, like you said, the evolution and the progress Nate has shown, it's definitely going to be one of the better matches on the card, it looks like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
At least on paper. This next one has
Yeah.
potential to steal, I think, though.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't think people will look at this and they're going to think, oh, whatever. But
It's a
this
joke
match,
match.
these two are very athletic.
Yeah. Mars Lewis taking on Hooligan Ace, Mr. 245 himself.
Which I'm very happy he's back, because last we knew he was kind of semi-retired,
Yeah.
if not fully retired.
Mhm.
He made a surprise appearance at the Rumble and looked good. So it's definitely great to have him back.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Mr. 245.
And Marcus Rose is going to be in the same building, so that might be interesting too. That is, if other people believe in continuity as much as I do. What do you think?
Talking about hate crime?
Mhm.
I'm always entertained by Hooligan Ace and Mars. I just seen for the first time actually the week before last on that show, so I'm interested
Really?
to kind of see that that combination, how it plays out in the ring.
Mm.
Yeah. It's one of those where, we had joked Mars is fast. So we're going to see how Hooligan can keep up with it. But it's that match I think has potential to be like a sleeper where people sleep on it, and it's going to be really impressive, and it's going to, I think, blow people's minds.
Actually, I kind of want to see you versus Mars at some point, simply to see how well you keep up with him. Because there have been matches we've seen in which Mars was like almost too fast for his opponent.
I was going to say,
And
I feel like Sebastian's going to take the Dexter approach and make him slow
Yeah.
down.
I mean, I can hit a gear like when I need to.
Mhm.
Yeah, when I choose to, I can get there.
I've seen you fight Hardacus. Yeah, you could kick it up when you want to. But then, of course, we've got the what's going to be the main event, the MPX Championship match. Remedy versus Brixton Shaw, our MPX champion. What do you think about the whole situation? I mean, you haven't really offered your opinion about the whole situation of Brixton Shaw being the MPX champion now.
I think it's great. We've faced each other countless numbers of times over the years. And again, we go back to the whole like evolution thing and just kind of where he's come from, going from changing his look, changing his work, changing the name, and just kind of for him to kind of get to where he is today and at the top of the MPX mountain. It's great. So I think it's good for him. It's good for MPX. Kind of freshens things up at the top, which is always good. And it should be a good match.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those things. Brixton obviously riding high. Obviously got civil disorder in his back pocket. He came in and he was one of those that the addicts really gravitated towards. And much like his opponent, same with Remedy. Remedy came in immediately. Fans were like, "Ooh, who's this?" And they were intrigued and fell in love. Just because, well, they have fun when he's in there. Like, it's one of those things where Remedy is one of the only men I've seen in MPX where he says stand up and everyone stands up. Not many have had control of a crowd that way. Now, Schaefer and Exodus, like I say, they controlled the crowd better than most with their antics as far as like getting them to be hated and stuff like that. Remedy having fun and getting crowd involvement, that I haven't seen many people do. the way he does. So this match, I think, is going to be very interesting. It's going to be one of those where we're going to see how, because Brixton, yeah, he fought Hardakis, but this is a different type of monster. This is a different type of big guy than Hardakis. It's going to be very interesting to see how Brixton handles everything. And if Civil Disorder, which we sadly know Exodus won't be there. If any other members,
really kind of hoping we get to see that match too. But.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. It's going to be a great match. This whole card so far, like you said, these 4 matches, and then just the other people announced. I mean, we've got Mr. Nasty coming back, which people love. We've got Marcus Rose, people love. That's kind of the match I want to see is Mr. Nasty and Marcus Rose, to be honest, just because that match is going to be fun and different fun than Remedy and Brixton. We've got Luther Black and Prince Kanu are the other ones I believe were announced. So it's definitely going to be a great card. It's one that I'm really looking forward to. I think it's going to open a lot of people's eyes, not just to what June 19th is, obviously, but also to some of the talent that aren't really known in MPX. Like it's been almost a year since we've seen Prince Kanu. So a lot of newer addicts probably don't even know who he is. Luther Black, I don't think has ever been in MPX that I remember or know of.
I remember you telling me you wanted to tag with him at MPX at one point.
Yes, and that was kind of an issue I had with the creative once upon a time because Canoe and Luther are boys, and we ran in a circle we called the Kingdom of Dominance, and we wanted to bring that to MPX, and it was kind of like kibosh was put on it. I was a little bit salty about it, but you know. It is what it is.
Yep.
Chill out, dog.
But, definitely glad to see them come back up here because it's been a good minute since I've seen both of them in person. I mean, I talked to them online, stuff like that, on Facebook and stuff, but I haven't seen them in person in a good while. So it'll be good to see them up here and catch up with them.
Yep.
Definitely. And hopefully the fan reaction will be enough that it'll be an impetus for management to bring them back more. Yeah.
I would hope so, because obviously, Mr. Nasty obviously got a great reaction to be able to be right back, which, I mean, I couldn't. That one of the few talents from Oklahoma that I liked, so that's good. And it's one of those, obviously with the news recently of ACH retiring, this is...
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, this is something that... It's one of those where this is a show that he definitely should have been a part of. And I totally get, I honestly respect, I respect his decision because it's one that I think is it's a very wise decision given his history and everything that he's gone through with wrestling right now. But yeah, that's one of those, ACH is one of those that not just Texas wrestling, not just black athletes, man, but he made a name for himself, and it's one of those that he should be. I was thankful that everything was kind of positive that I've seen so far about his retirement, because he's one of those that I think he deserves a really good send-off. Because like I said, for not only just black athletes in Texas, but also Texas wrestling in general, he's one of the first ones that kind of opened everyone's eyes to it. Obviously there's a lot of wrestlers that wouldn't be where they are now if it wasn't for him. I think it was Palmer posted, I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for him, and all their feuds and all their fights and everything like that. But that's one of those, I think not only June 19th doesn't need to be celebrated, it needs to be athletes like that, like ACH and all the other great black athletes that have kind of come and gone that a lot of people, I don't want to say tend to forget about. I mean, but most people, they look at, almost every wrestling looks at WWE. That is like their standard wrestling. And when you look at the title history, it's not a lot. I mean, you've got your Booker T, your Mark Henry, The Rock, stuff like that, and Kofi. But before all that, I would say
forgot Farouk.
And Ron Simmons. Well, that was WCW, though. And even then, when you say Mark Henry and Booker T, they were world champions. They weren't really WWE champions. Kofi and The Rock were the first kind of WWE champions as far as black athletes go. And it's one of those where it seems for some reason they've never really gotten their just due. And I've never understood that. There's like Big E right now. I don't understand why Big E is not pushed to the moon. He's one of those great athletes and great charismas. Exactly.
Bobby Lashley is finally getting the recognition he should have gotten.
Exactly. He should have had that in the early 2000s when they first had him.
Mhm.
It's just crazy how everyone kind of looks at that, and that's what they view. And then like, I forgot who said it. It may have been Jr. But he's talking about Bill Watts, who was kind of notorious for being a racist, stuff like that. And JR's like, no, he wasn't racist. He saw green. If you were green, if you could make money, that's all he saw. And he was the one who put the title on Ron Simmons, apparently, to begin with. And he pushed Junkyard Dog and Mid-South and stuff like that. It's just crazy because people look at it, and for the longest time, they've always been good hands, or they've been kind of mid-card. They were never viewed as the top guys. It's weird how we're now 2021, and that's now just changing when it should have changed many years ago. I just rambled for some reason. I don't know where I was going with this.
I was trying. From my perspective, that was a really positive ramble. So
it was one of those. It was because not only, I mean, we saw the video. God, what was it? 4 years now when Kofi won the title, and it was MVP and Shad, and just how much that meant to them. And it was just crazy because you sit there and as a fan, you're like, cool, Kofi won. But then you see Xavier's reaction, you see Big E's reaction, you see Shad and Envi, and it was way more than just a title. It was way more than just a moment. And like for us, we don't understand it. But like Sebastion, like for you to finally get recognition.
And recognition is just so important. Just as a wrestler, as a person. I mean, and anybody can relate to that and just wanting that. So to see him achieve that on that level, and it's like, I mean, there's hundreds, thousands of like guys in wrestling, want to be in wrestling and stuff, kind of filling up the pond of the industry. So not many will get to that level, but to see him with that success on that level, still inspiring, and it pushes you to shoot for whatever level that you're on, to shoot for success and the greatest success that you can achieve. So it's just it pushes you.
Yep.
And I was going somewhere and I lost my train of thought.
I know that feeling very.
I was
going
to say
well.
that happens on this show quite a bit.
So often, we'll just sit there like we were going to say something
in the air here that just makes us go that.
It's not even just here. It's
just like I say, it's just the inspiration and just that you get from him, and it just pushes you to do more.
Yep.
And the recognition that you can get, again, at whatever level that you're on, it makes everything worth it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel it's like I said, it's weird because it's 2020, but there seems to be such a surge because you've got guys like JTG who is getting more of a name and more bookings and winning more titles. You got guys like AJ Gray who is going out there and just killing it. It's weird that the representation took so long, but it's finally, I don't know, I think people are like on level now, which is really weird to say because they always should have been. There are always so many black athletes like Kofi. Kofi probably should have been world champion or at least in the main event picture way before that. I remember there was I think it was 2008, him and Orton. That got squashed way before it should have.
Yeah.
And it's just weird how that works and how people still have that mindset. Sometimes it's crazy. And it may not even be a mindset. They may just literally not see anything in him at the time. And we'll never know, but it's just when you look at the history of wrestling, it does seem
monochromatic.
I was going to say whitewash and I didn't want to, but that's exactly what it is. And it's just crazy how any other sport or entertainment, it's not like that. Yet wrestling for some reason has been until I would say in the past maybe 5-10 years. It's crazy.
But I think that the fact that there is change is a positive thing to look forward, to be appreciative of, and it's just again it goes back to just recognition, education, and those are kind of the ways that we can keep things moving forward and making things better for everybody. white, black, brown,
Yep.
red, yellow, whatever, colored, whatever shade on the rainbow you are. It's just it's better for everybody.
Yes.
If things are just more equal, kind of everybody can have that even footing to show what you can do.
Yep.
I mean, it should just be not what you look like. It should be able to be what you can do. Period. And the more we can be more inclusive and kind of give everybody opportunities, we can kind of make strides to get towards to that, where we're just judging people just on ring skill and stuff like that, not any other factors.
Exactly, and that's
Definitely.
like I said. I think wrestling is going that way. We've seen a lot of independent shows. GCW's ran for the culture. No Peace Underground just did Fear the Gay Agenda, where everyone was part of the LGBT. We've got June 19th with us. It's one of those where it's I love seeing the representation. I think it was Byron just posted a Pride thing, and there were so many on there I had no idea were part of the LGBT community. It's great to see everyone kind of finally being okay with themselves. I know MSP, Main State Posse, one of the few things I liked in Maine, tag team. One of them just came out as I think trans. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember exactly. But he Danger Kid just came out, and a big deal. And it's one of those where it's seeing wrestling while we were talking about earlier, while yes, wrestling is very, very toxic, there are some good things about it. And I think the representation, not like he was saying, not just black, but brown and the LGBT and everything else is finally getting there. We're finally, as a society, I guess, kind of growing. And it's just weird that wrestling is the very last of it.
Honestly, in a lot of ways, I think that's because wrestling is very much a reflection of the country it's in, because of the fact that it's entertainment. So therefore, it reflects the entertainment, the values of the people of that country, and the fact that it's like the fact that it's taken so long for what is obviously considered to be a fixed or fake sport and everything like that. It's taken so long for this level of recognition for African American, for Mexican American, Asian American athletes to be given the recognition, and now with the LGBT acceptance and everything like that, it's reflecting that America itself is starting to move in that direction even more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, obviously we're right smack dab in the middle of Pride Month right now. And, it's like, so seeing the gay agenda, seeing that poster that Byron posted and everything like that, that's a big deal for those of us in the LGBT community. And honestly, between that, and one thing I'm really hoping is, I'm not going to tell MPX how to run its business, but I really, really want on the network for this to come up, for this to be one of the free shows, so that we can show the world pretty much exactly the level of athleticism, the level of wrestling skill in the ring of our local black athletes here in the DFW and Texas area.
Yeah, and it's one of those where I think, and Sebastion can chime in more on this, I've always felt MPX has been very inclusive and is always featured, not necessarily based on race or person or whatever. They always have kind of looked at talent. And it didn't matter what you were, how you were. Okay, to a degree. Settle down. To a degree.
Sapo had how many shots at the title?
You're going to talk about Rivera. Never mind.
Oh, no. Oh, don't get me... He's right here. Don't get me started on that.
But no, MPX has always seemed to really kind of have a good mix of talent, whether it be white, black, Hispanic, Asian, what have you. They've always been very good about being inclusive, I felt, from in the crowd or even the people in the ring. It's always been welcoming. I've always said it's my second home because I've always felt safe and comfortable there. Oh man,
one of the few times I heard somebody say something like super racist at the show, they got shut down real quick.
And that's the thing. And from what I've always heard, the backstage is always very welcoming as well. So if you have anything, chime in on that.
No, it's definitely, like you said, it's very inclusive and seems more, for the most part, more skill-based opportunities, and that's what it should be. It's like I'm glad we're having the Juneteenth show, Liberty Day, and all these other promotions that are having these sort of special kind of spotlight shows. I'm glad we're having that. We're getting that shine a little bit. I look forward to the day where, I mean, I doubt it'll be in like my lifetime or even my kid's lifetime, but where stuff like this isn't as necessary,
Right.
you know, where it's not that big a deal, that humanity's kind of like where it should be, where it's truly a, you know, meritocracy, where like the best person for a position or an opportunity is the one that gets it, not just, again, for what they look like.
And
or
everyone
this or
afforded the
that.
opportunity to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But let's see, what time is it? Oh, wow. Yeah, we're almost at our cutoff time anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you very much, Sebastion, for joining
yes.
us tonight. Make sure you get your tickets, mpxwrestling.com. Get your tickets now. I want to see you there. I say this about a lot of people. I want to see you there. Or if you can't be there, get your subscription, because now they have that $50 subscription where you get the shows free with it. And watch it on your computer, your television, however you're able to watch it, on network.mpxwrestling.com, because that's a big deal. We're going to see if I can wrangle someone to come help us on Saturday night, because, you know, yeah. And we'll see you there. And if it's not obvious for how we feel about this, Black Lives Matter.
See y'all Saturday.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks a lot, man.
Who's not helping us?
Huh?
Who's not helping us?
No.